let's just sew whatever.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be making the medium Louie waist pack from Uh-Oh Patterns in translucent. Well, it's honestly not, but we're using clear vinyl and jelly vinyl to create this, and shaker beads. I love this so much, oh my gosh. So I added the pocket on the back that is clear. I do have a cutting video for this as well if you're interested, so that is completely clear, so you can put your phone in there if you wanted. And what's fun is like you can still use your phone through it. Can't lock it though. Yeah, I know the battery's dying. And then this bag has a large opening there you can put stuff in, so you could wear this as a sling bag or as a fanny pack. I see so many people wearing this as a sling bag, so I was like, I want to make one. I do have slim slide adjusters on my website now that will work better with webbing. You can see, like, this is what people are doing. They've got their little, and you can see it's not, this one is not clear. I do have a video prior to this one cutting out or sewing a clear version, so I hope you enjoy both versions, and don't forget to subscribe. So this is going to be the second version of the somewhat clear Louie waist bag. I'm going to cut this to whatever it tells me to. It says 43 to 57, so that was 29. 43, 57, we'll say 50 minus 29, so at 21. The webbing that I'm using here is from Zipper Valley. It's like the most perfect, soft, prismatic, holographic look. I figured it would match wonderfully with this Fabric Therapy clear vinyl and this jelly from the Emporium. I am going to be using a slide adjuster and snap hook and a D-ring for this bag. So where are my flanges at? No, zipper flange is the other thing. I want my wings. Here's my wings. I'm going to start with this part, just because I'm doing it very differently. We're still going to have them turned with right sides together. One side is going to have our webbing encased, and then the other side is going to have our triangle ring connector. So let me sew this up really quick. So I'm just folding long raw edges into the center. I've got a stitch length of 4.5. And then you can just do 2 rows of top stitching, or if you want to do a total of 4, you could do that too. 4 would look really nice, be fun. Woo. And then I'm thinking I'm going to do something kind of different. Well, wait. She folds it over. Okay, so we'll follow that same kind of structure. Also, I'm so sorry for my AC, but it's too hot for a baby. Well, toddler. Without it. So right sides together. And then I'll be flipping it this way. So yeah. Do we want the right side facing up? Let's read the instructions. Since I'm not using like the slide buckle, my construction's gonna be just a teeny tiny bit different. But I think the way that this part is done is really unique. So let's just go ahead and get started sewing from the top down around the curve. And then it's up to you on how you want to trim your excess vinyl. Pull that through. And then I'm gonna top stitch through all those layers. And in the pattern it shows you can sew like 3 times around that. I think that's cute. I'm just gonna go ahead and do twice because this is already clear. I feel like it's busy enough. And then for the triangle ring, we're gonna fold this through and slide this down and around like this. So this makes it so that strap and that snap hook are not like resting directly on your body. So we've got that box stitch, slide this up, and then I'm just gonna sew down the rest of the way. Starting from the outermost edge, flipping up. And coming forward. And then I'll trim off that excess little bit there. I totally did not measure that piece. I would say it was probably 6 inches. Did not measure it. Just cut a little chunk. That's fine. So that'll be where our snap hook connects. We'll work on this part here. And you want to make sure that your webbing is pretty far within that seam for added security and strength. I might wear this at the airport tomorrow. I think it's gonna be so cute. And these are in opposite directions, so keep in mind how you want your prints to look on those pieces. So there's the next piece. This is going to get a slide adjuster and a snap hook. So we'll go ahead and add our slide adjuster really quick. Grab our snap hook. Save those baggies. We're gonna go with the top side. So we've got our slider on, and now we're sliding our snap hook through. Everything is nice and straight. We're gonna go around the bottom. Give yourself plenty of slack so it's easier. We're going basically up and over the center bar again so that we can rivet or sew the two. So if you pinch all of these layers together, you're gonna pinch the two closest to each other. The two on the top should not be sewn down. And if it helps you to kind of clip your pieces together and then make sure you can adjust your strap still, I would definitely recommend doing that. Okay. And then remember, this can't ever get shorter than this when you're finishing the bag. Like, so if you need to make it for a specific person, test it before you finish it. It can't get shorter or wider. Like, you could always cut it, of course. Sew an extender piece to it. So keep that in mind for whoever you are making it for. Okay, there are our wings out of the way. So they'll come around the side of the bag, and then this will clip there. Kind of neat. Not kind of, it's really neat. Okay, so I've got all my zipper pulls here. We're gonna move on to the remainder of the bag. It's gonna go so quick. I'm so excited. This is my back panel, which I will be adding one zipper to. And then I've got one of the back panel lining pieces. So in my cutting video, I only cut this back lining piece. However, you actually line the piece with that main shape. So totally up to you if that's how you want to do it. I'm gonna show you what my brain said to do, and we'll see how it works. This is like my tester before I make the real one for my friend. So I'm just quickly attaching my zipper pulls. I'm not good at doing it by hand, so I have this zipper helper tool. And they're lined up nicely. And then I have this little black nickel Set Sprite pull, but it doesn't match my zipper tape. I don't care. It's worth it to me. It's worth it. So what I'm gonna do is start with the back panel by attaching my zipper tape to the exterior back. I'm just using double-sided tape because it's faster. We're going to sew that at like a 3/8 inch seam allowance. I'm going to flip this and then top stitch. Folding this down. And pressing our layers. Oh. And then here is where I'm going to add the back lining to the top section here. This gets lined up with the top of the zipper. And then I'm going to lay the top of the back panel face down over my zipper tape. So we're going to be sewing through 2 layers to close off that pocket. I'm going to flip this up and top stitch. So now you can see you've got this clear pocket. Bring your zipper pull in. You can go ahead and find your centers because we're going to be using our front template piece now to make this the same size as the front of our bag. And if you wanted to, you could line this again with that jelly, but it's just adding, it's adding bulk you really don't need to add. I'm gonna be honest with you. Did I bring that piece over here? Yes. I was like, I swear to God, it was right here. Clearly. Clearly. Okay. It's a little hard with that zipper pull being right there, but you're gonna line up the center mark. With the center of your zipper tape. Okay. So all I did was mark out that area, and then I'm going to go ahead and line up my wings. And you want these to be face up. Yeah, face up. 1 inch down from the top edge, which is kind of like lined up perfectly with the top edge of your zipper. And then line them up with the angle of your back panel. And what I'm doing is I'm gonna baste all the way around this and then trim it away. Like, I'm not here to waste time. Doing 2 steps several times. Okay. And this is going to keep our layers from shifting when we put the whole bag together, because we've basted everything at once. So if you wanted to use that piece of jelly to line the back, you would just lay that in place and baste around everything as well, including that piece. This bag does get finished with binding. And then along the top, I'm not sewing through anything, but just continuing on that stitching. Okay. And then I'll trim away everything up to that traced line. So if for any reason something didn't line up until this point, or you used a different kind of seam allowance on your zipper tape, there is some room for error, which I always love in a pattern. But here is our back panel. It's so cute already. I had like just one of these zipper pulls sitting around. So you can see that's clear. Alright. So we'll set this aside for now. We're going to move on to the other parts of our bag. This is going to be my lining piece of the front panel. And then I've got my flanges here. Oh, wait, no, that's right here. This is the top of my gusset. I've got the base of the bag, so on, so forth. All right, let's do the zipper flange pieces. These are fun little boogers. Okay. So since I don't have lining, we're gonna lay this face down with that straight edge on the edge of our zipper tape. And this goes right up against the edge of the zipper tape. For the large size we're making, you want to make sure this is 18 inches from end to end. Yes. And the straight edge up against your zipper tape. And the bottom edge lined up with the bottom edge of your zipper tape. So you can see this is the side with 1, 2, 3 little pivots. 1, 2, 3. And this one has 1 and then 1 pivot. So we're going to start the bottom. This is going to be a 3/8 inch, or as close as you can to that zipper. And we're going to sew till we get to about 1/2 inch away, or 3/8 of an inch away from the topmost point. We're going to pivot our zipper tape to match the pivot of that pattern piece. And backstitch. So it's a real gentle curve. And then we'll repeat that on the other side. And I guess this time I'm going to start with the pivot. Just because I have trouble sewing from the other angle. That's okay though. If you need to, you can use a screwdriver. I'm just going to sew this way. Well, I can't see anything from that way. we got it. Now I'm going to open this up and top stitch. And I'm really pulling on that piece so that I know it's as flat as possible. And because my vinyl is clear, I really can't have a ton of scraggly loose threads. Gotta keep it clean here. Oh my gosh, so cute. So cute. Alright, we need to mark our centers for this front panel. So I'm gonna fold it in half, and you can either use pen to mark it or just snip. I need a little name tag. Ooh, that could be fun. Like, what if I put it underneath? I don't know. We'll just put it on top. Ooh, this one's better. I have the assortment of labels from Heartwood and Hide, and I never know which tag to use. Like, they're all so good, I just don't even care. And then sometimes I like to do it crooked on purpose. Then no one can get mad if it's not quite straight. I'm like, well. Honestly, though, I don't think anyone's mad. No one's mad at you. All right. Time to add this panel. I'm just marking my centers. And then do I need to add the full gusset first? I think so. Yes, okay. Finish off the gusset. So to the side without the phalanges, we're going to be adding this piece of clear. The double-sided tape I'm using is from Weft and Warp Co. It is my favorite currently, and I do carry it on my website as well. If you want, I think I mentioned this in the cutting portion of the video, but if you want this to still have like a lining to it, what you can do is cut out a piece of clear and then cut out your printed clear and sandwich the layers together. It would be fine. So you'd have your printed on the exterior and your clear on the lining, or jelly, or whatever you'd like to use to line it. And then we'll open this up, top stitch. You could also cut a like 1-inch strip of jelly vinyl to overlay on that panel if you didn't want to see where it joins together. I always love seeing that done. It's so cute. And then for the jelly vinyl, I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way. But you want to center your fabric, and then I believe it's a 3/8 inch seam allowance. I'm going to check though. Yeah, 3/8 of an inch. Open that up and top stitch. If you wanted to add 2 rows of stitching there, you could. I think that'd be super cute. But here is our gusset. I'm going to take a lighter to my zipper tape just to keep that from fraying over time. That'd be very bad. Okay. It's going to get exciting soon. I can't wait. I'm going to find my center on the top and bottom. Top center is still accurate, but I don't have a center marking on the bottom, so we'll just do that super quick. the back side of this is finished off with binding, but the front side is turned through a turn hole within the lining. So to the side with the flanges and the raw zipper tape, we're going to add our raw zipper edge. So make sure that the top is the smaller part of your trapezoid and the bottom half is the wider. Make sure it's not twisted anywhere. Right sides together. And then I'm going to baste this together along the bottom and the top, just so I have those center focal points lined up. And that's just like 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, just super little. Making sure to hold my threads when I start so that there's no bunching. And then if you can help it, try not to yank on your zipper tape too much, or you'll get wonky spots. Oh, excuse you. Okay, it's getting exciting now. So I'm going to clip these curves together. You may need to add a little relief snip in your gusset along the bottom. I'm literally doing like less than 1/4 of an inch, almost just 1/8. But if you don't have to snip within your gusset is actually too big. I won't forget it. I won't let you forget it either. And that's how you can end up with like puckers within your gusset. Nobody wants a puckery gusset. Puckery Gusset was my AIM screen name in grade school. I'm just ready to add this glitter. You have no idea. Do not snip your zipper. That you're just gonna have to kind of like live with. Unzip it if you have to. I'm definitely gonna use my screwdriver to kind of help me maneuver around all of this. Unzipping your zipper will kind of help allow things to move easier as well. And then you're only dealing with one layer of zipper tape instead of all that fabric. Okay. I'm not going to stray too far from my current like 1/8 of an inch baste because we still have to add the other layer. If you were not adding a second layer to this, this would be like your final stitch and you'd want to add binding. That's not part of the pattern, but I guess neither is what I'm doing. Okay. So just working slowly around the curve, using my screwdriver to kind of press the curve into place and continuing on. It's also hard because the vinyl is clear, so like using printed or glitter might make it a little bit easier so you can actually see what you're doing better. There's that. And now we're going to sandwich this with our jelly. If you need to snip centers, do that. And remember, we need to leave a turning hole, so we're not going to sew across the bottom. We will be sewing across the top and the sides and close to the bottom. And I'm actually going to flip over the panel and sew from the other direction so I can see my basting stitches. But we're lining up the curves. Kind of cool because you can see your zipper tape too, so you'll know you're not sewing through anywhere it shouldn't be sewn through. If you've made the Phoebe mini backpack or the math pack, or I'm sure there's other patterns that do this kind of method, then you might be familiar with how this works, where you cram everything inside and try to sew around while keeping everything lined up. So I guess what I'm trying to say is good luck. If you are forgetful, make sure you mark where you're starting and stopping, but that's what it's looking like. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera angle. Starting at the bottom, we're going to leave a pretty decent hole to turn the bag through. And we're going to sew at a little bit wider of a seam allowance than previously. I only made one bobbin for this bag, and I'm really hoping I don't regret that decision. Okay, there is the zipper flange. And then I really want to make sure that, yeah, I was about to sew through the zipper tape. It's like, of course, I can't see through, that sits bright. So I'm just feeling through those layers to make sure I'm not sewing through a little bunch in my zipper tape. That's a good sized turn area there. Okay. I'm gonna trim down some of these areas, like up here. Just make sure that you don't trim through your zipper tape, please. Okay. Here we go. Make sure you're not using PVC for this. And then press your seams open. So I'm pressing it against my body to help me press all those pieces into place, because we're going to be sewing down and around all of this as well after we add our glitter. So I'm going to get a little piece of double-sided tape to help me hold down this part right here. Kind of looking at it from this angle. I caught my gusset here, so that's not ideal. I probably should have trimmed that down a little bit more, but it's fine. Zip it up just to get the idea of what that looks like. So fun. All right, glitter time. I think I'm gonna add some of this too. I think it'll mix well. Nope. Yeah. Okay. Ugh. I'm not going to use all of this, because these are like little polymer pieces, so they're a little bit heavier. I'm gonna use like half of it. That's good. And then if you're gonna test it to see if it's enough, make sure you close it, or is it enough? I don't know. I'm gonna add a little more. Get these back in there. Okay, that's probably closer to half. Okay. And then make sure all that glitter is down at the edge that's not open. And we'll close this up and top stitch. careful when you flip this. And then make sure you're checking the opposite edge and feeling through all those layers to know that you're closing it up. Oh no, I think I sewed through a little polymer guy. Oh, there's beads. I didn't even see that. Okay. So I gotta be careful. Oh, sorry. I almost went and stitched through the zipper flange again. Make sure you don't do that. Double checking from this side that that edge is closed and I don't have access to the other side. Okay, I was too scared to lose any pieces that I couldn't fully enjoy what was happening here. But it's so cute. Oh my gosh. So there are little bead pieces within that area too. But anyway, let's go ahead and finish the bag and then we can really take a second and enjoy what we've made. So I need to mark out the top of my gusset. And then I did not mark the centers here. No, I didn't. I thought I did. That one is. And just as we did with the exterior, I'm gonna mark my centers, stitch those in place first so there's no shifting, and then sew all the way around, and then we're gonna finish this off with binding. You could use jelly vinyl for your binding, or you can use like a pre-made binding. I have a pre-made binding that I saw on my website that I'm gonna use. If your machine struggles with layers, you might consider adding zipper tabs to that back panel. I moved my zipper pull in. And then again on that gusset, we may need to add a couple little snips. gonna go crazy though. I know this sounds terrible, but I've already kind of messed up the curve on the front of the bag, so I'm gonna be honest, I'm not super worried about the shape on the back. I do think it's really smart how the bag wings kind of fit perfectly underneath the gusset. There's a nice wide opening for this bag. I think that's smart. Okay. So we'll start here on this straight edge. And now I know that that isn't going to shift on me. Flip up to the top edge, baste that. And now I know that's not going anywhere, so I'll just continue on from that stitch. If you don't want to finish this with binding, I guess you really don't have to, but I think it'll give it a nice, clean look on the inside, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I've got this super fun pink, blue watercolor smudge. I like to add 3/4 inch wide double-sided tape to the back of my binding. And I'm just going to slowly clip this around. You don't necessarily have to use clips to hold it when you tape it, but I don't think it hurts. So I'm pulling and pressing those layers down. So I'm pulling on this to make sure it has as much stretch as possible, and then pressing the tape into place around the curve. I went too far here, so I'll just unpeel it. And make sure you feel those layers. Don't peel the tape off completely. Just do a couple inches at a time. Go around the edge. And then I like to make sure I overlap. And then fold this edge down. Overlap. Okay. Okay. Super quick. Around the outside, around the outside. Make sure your zipper pulls are out of the way. It's kind of fun with the clear binding it because I can see the other side. Okay then. Well, that was good timing for my thread to break. 'Cause we're done. Alright, we're gonna open it, turn it, and enjoy it. Oh, it's nice and easy to turn because it opens so wide. So I'm pressing my hand along those edges. Pulling those wings. Oh my gosh, that is so fun. And so this is the medium size. Here's that side connector. I like that this isn't so like jangly because it's covered by fabric and then you don't have that metal sitting on your skin. So you can wear this around your waist, or you could wear it even as a sling bag across your shoulder. I don't feel like it's super crooked. Nah. But then you see when you're bored, you can play with it. I would not recommend just the polymer beads because they just sink to the bottom, but your glitter particles will hang out all throughout your bag, making it super fun. So thank you so much for hanging out while we made this. I hope you enjoyed. I can't wait to see your rendition of this bag if you decide to make it fully clear, or if you like this one and you just want to make it like essence of clear but not clear. The only thing that you can see through is my zipper, but I still used clear vinyl. Bye. I just feel like you'll be able to see a lot better. But will I? Let me move my light a little bit. Is it good there? Nope. That's better. Well, no, it's not. That's better. Alright, now I can see. And the light is not in the way.